Hey, thanks for joining me. Love them knives here, LTK. Bestech Rhino. And one of the viewers, thank God for the viewers, huh? One of the viewers was watching one of my videos and said, hey, LTK, you ought to check out the Bestech Rhino. And I was a little put off because I've had this Rhino for months and months, and had it in my drawer finally, just preserving it for something special down the road. And I thought, I've already done one on the Rhino. No, I haven't. I've done a video on Bestech budget knives of 2018, and this was included in that group with the Thorn and the Beluga, etc. So I'll give you a link to that video for your reference. But yes, I have not done one specifically on the Rhino. And this is a titanium backspacer that's anodized. It's a liner lock, G10, 154 cm blade steel. The Rhino. Deep carry kind of pocket clip. Looks like right hand only. Pretty heavy, nice stainless liners, and they're skeletonized. If you look in there, you can see they have done that on the top and the bottom liner, and it's got a nice little and I would think this is probably an anodized titanium ring around the pivot as well. And obviously you can use a screwdriver to undo the pivot, and then the rest look like number 6 Torxes. And it's got bearings, I believe, ceramic bearings on the pivot. And you've got a cutout in the blade so you can thumb or finger flick this thing open if you want, as well as using the flipper tab, which is right here and has jimping on it. And there is jimping on the top of the liners here for grip. And yeah, it's not overly aggressive, but it's there and you can feel it. You've got a front choil for going forward on this blade. You can really go forward on it. Interesting blade shape, and I think a lot of people feel like this knife is fat and this blade shape makes no sense, and it's got a slight recurve in it. A slight recurve, whatever. So there's been some feelings about it. You can get this knife with this kind of as a grayed out area, or like this, which is just stone wash. You can get it with the black scales as well, and this as the flats kind of grayed or stone wash. So there's like 4 different iterations of it. You can get it on White Mountain Knives for $108, but no, with the 10% LTK discount, $10.80, right? So there you go. It'll be under $100. And this gives you kind of the, it gives you the stats. 8.5 inches overall, 3.5 inch blade, 0.12 blade thickness of an inch, 154 cm drop point flat grind, 5-inch handle, and this is the beige one, liner lock. And you can see that they have these where it's a little bit more grayed at the top than the stonewash ones. So there's the one that I have here. These here are a little darkened on the flats, which may be a little bit more dramatic and may be a better look the way you want it, but they're available to buy. And I think it's a beast. I think it's a chunk of change. I like it myself. I mean, I was attracted to it when I saw it. I met with Solina and her husband at the SHOT Show in Vegas in January of 2018. And that's where I first happened upon this knife. And I thought it was cool, really cool. As well as, of course, they had the Hornet with them. So I got my lanyard on here, but yeah, the Hornet, which I thought was crazy good, and I still do I have this in green and in red. I like it so well. So I really like the Hornet. It's crazy good. And of course, the Paladin, which I think is probably one of the most sensible, usable EDC knives you can get on the market at $50 or under. I mean, that's just a crazy, crazy good knife. Just makes so much sense. Blade shape is so sensible and good, and the design is great. I just love it. It's very clean design, etc. So, yeah, but the Rhino, whoo, it's a big boy. It's big and thick, like 7/10 of an inch thick, which is 18 millimeters. And the blade stock is 3.8 millimeters, which is 0.15 of an inch. So it's almost 4 millimeter blade stock, 7/10 of an inch thick, which is really, really thick. But actually, the action, pretty good. Centered up, no blade play, no lock rock, really clean. The fit and finish is really good on these Bestech knives. Comes in a nice box. There's the model number. Comes in a pouch. Really nice zipper pouch. And it has a microfiber cloth. And I'm sure and the plastic is right here. And this is, by the time this posts, this will be gone from my hands, because it's one of the prizes in my 9,000 subscriber giveaway, which is, the winners are drawn on August 4th. So, wow. But, I mean, I like it. I really do. I know. I mean, not everybody's into kind of beast knives, and this is just a beast knife. It really is. And let me see how much it weighs. I'm sure it weighs a ton. But that's okay. I mean, it just depends on what you're looking to carry at what particular time. But that's 7 ounces. That's 7 ounces. That's a lot of ounces for an EDC type knife. And 199, basically 200 grams. That's a big knife. I mean, heavy knife. I mean, big, well, like I said, 3.5-inch blade, just a skosh over 3.5. So it's 3 5/8, which is 92 millimeters, something like that. And then 8 1/4 overall, not quite 21 centimeters long. So 8 1/4. Well, I guess if you get out here to this lanyard thing, then you're at 8.5, like I said. So, yeah, it's not a big, huge knife. You'd think, wow, for 7 ounces, I could, something like 10 inches long overall, or 9, but no, 8.5, 8.6-inch blade, something like that. Fairly thick blade stock, but not all that much thicker than a lot of knives that are smaller and lighter. But that definitely gives you that 7/10 of an inch. To me, that's comfortable. And this thing, the ergonomics, at least like this, are really good. I mean, are really good. And I know it looks kind of funky. It's got the hump. It's got it's Rhino, right? So, yeah, I mean, it feels comfortable this way. I'm not getting any hot spots from this. And you can see how this really is pretty minimal here. If you're going to get any, feel for that clip, it's going to be way back here. And you're pretty kind of lost already, or at least my hand is, for the back of the clip. So, and this part, no hot spots at all. So really the ergos are surprisingly good, both for reverse grip, both for forward. I mean, this is super, super comfortable. If you were doing something close up, I mean, this really, you could do this. And, recurve blades are good for certain types of cutting. And this one is sharp. It's really sharp out of the box, which will be something that whoever wins it will be very happy about. In any case, Can we ever get the paper off my table? Make a big mess. Back spacer, I really like it. And I like when they incorporate the lanyard into the back spacer, whether they kind of, whether this cuts down and the lanyard continues and then there's an opening to go through like here, or whether they extend it out here, kind of as an impact tool. Could you break glass with that? Yeah, I think you might be able to. And also, it's a striking point as well. So for self-defense, and if anything looks like it's going to butt up against something, it's going to be a Rhino. So in that way, I know it's kind of a beastly knife. I wish they made it in blue. Oof, man, I'd have to get one all over again. But yeah, I really like this. I had kept this in my collection when I had moved along some of the other Bestech knives that I'd had. But subscriber giveaway. Whew. Still, a cool knife. Even though I've handled it a lot, but I think I've only carried this knife once and never really cut anything, but just had it in my pocket. Showed it off a little bit here and there. It is a different design. It really is. It's heavy. It's fat. But if you like the feel that you get when you wrap your hand around a knife that gives you some girth there, that's really good. I mean, it's really a lot easier to control and gives you better feel, I think. So, the Rhino. Yeah, I like it. Hey, Flanagan, what do you think? You like it? Yeah, if it was green, you would probably. Thank you so much for joining me. Rhino, ceramic bearings, you can finger flick, thumb flick, and that detent, not that strong, which is good because if you're going to finger flick, you don't want it real strong, but about typical, right in there at about a 5. But, you do have jimping, great ergos, fills your hand up. There's just a lot of good things, but it's heavy. Okay, it's heavy. So it's one that some people are really going to like, and probably a good number of people will pass on because they want a bug out or a paramilitary 2 or something like that. And if you compare this and just, in parting to the PM2, about the same size. About the same size. It looks bigger in that aspect ratio, but flip it around. So, basically, same size. But much thicker. Much thicker. Just crazy. All right, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll be back with another knife the next day. Yes, we will. So, hold on, because you know what we do around here. What do we do, Flanagan? Do we love them knives? Hi, yes, we do. Yes, we do. So you guys stay sharp.